why are there so many $1,000 fly rods out there and people who can't cast in relation to the amount of people who ever had a casting lesson? So why do people rather choose to buy a €1,000 fly rod than go and get some help from a casting instructor, so that they can use their $150 fly rod because it'll do the same job? It's only going to bend and unbend like the $1,000 stick. We'd probably both agree on that one. And yes, okay, the brand fetishism and all the brainwash behind it, yeah, I get it. But still ask yourself, why is it amongst fly fishers so unpopular to get a casting lesson? And I think there's two reasons for that, two main reasons. One is, people just don't want to be taught. They do not want to be told how to do this and that. And they are not able and willing also to take a little bit of critique. They are afraid. And fly fishing teaches this afraid and this fragile mindset of avoiding everything, I think, systematically, because it leaves no room for error. And whole teachings in fly casting make you so afraid of doing something wrong that you do not want to stand in front of a casting instructor and look there as if you can't cast and being told something. I just think that's a psychological process that happens there, and within that process, many people's brains tell them, or the industry suggests them to, no, buy this $1,000 fly rod, that's going to sort your problems there. You don't need a casting lesson, you do that by yourself. And I'm also not trying to sell you a casting lesson, especially not one of these classic casting lessons, because I think they fail due to the fact that nobody is taking them. I mean, how good can the casting lessons be if nobody is taking them? Or if so little people are taking them? I mean, look around, how many people do you see? Ask a few people with all these $1,000 gear, did you ever have a casting lesson? Or who taught you casting? Just out of interest, it would interest me how the relation is there, or leave a comment what you think. And that's the first thing. First, people don't want to be taught anything or learn about their own mistakes, probably. This, for some people, seems to be hard to take, so they teach themselves. Or actually, you're never self-taught because you do get the information from somewhere, so you are always taught with some filter. And this filter that the teachings in fly casting put on you, in my opinion, doesn't work very well. And without shame, blame or guilt, I would like to offer you a couple of other alternatives here. What we do here is not the self-taught approach, it is the self-learned approach. And we'll look for universally applicable ways to learn and also to teach fly casting. And the other point is, like, if you have already spent £1,000 for a fishing rod, why would you need a casting lesson on top? Because that fishing rod is obviously that good that it can do the job by itself. And I am not against that rod. You go and get yourself that rod. Just don't expect to be able to make the cast, especially when the weather gets tough and the wind gets strong. Because that new fly rod or that new equipment will not make that cast for you. That cast has to come out of your pure self. And the control for that cast comes out of the mind. And the fly casting lessons I am designing together with a couple of friends at the moment, they aim to make you a self-learner and to develop a better feeling over the system first. Yeah? And one of the tools is a fixed line anchor, for example, that will help you immensely on realizing how little it takes, and also on relaxing your mind, because that line will not blow out, tangle, or fly around your ears or damage something. go out there and give this a try. Before you throw it overboard and you say, no, this is no good, and I do it like I always did it. If I look around, the amount of shit casting I see is hurtful. And I can hardly go still fishing because I see so much bad casting, it tortures the shit out of me. And that's why I'm here, to help you a little bit. And to invite you to improve your casting drastically with a new way of looking at the cast, and especially looking at the process and focusing on the process and not on the result. Because this is what we do too here. We focus on the science, and the science of control theory, and also the science of being a proper sportsman. I don't know if that is a science, but if it wasn't a science, I found that now. The science of being a proper sportsman. And if you are a proper sportsman of the fly fishing game, it is your duty to try new stuff that comes along the way. And you are not allowed to push stuff. Even if you might not want it, you're not allowed to push that away in case it would be helpful for other people. See, not everybody is the same. And if we want to grow the sport together, we need to make it a bit more playful, and we need to work a little bit on the methods so that we can teach people easier how to cast. And to make them want to get their own casting lessons by self-learning. And if you get in contact with the people who are working on these methods, and if you see what they're throwing up, it's absolutely phenomenal. And the creative flows that are going on there, in them induced flow states, are something you should not miss out on. Positive reinforcement casters are going to die happy. You probably don't understand this yet. That is because you have not been in the three-dimensional space that the enjoyment of a proper fly cast can be. So, let me ask you again. How do you feel a fly rod? I know that's an annoying question, but in here we find the answers. Very crystal clear and simple answers to that question. And you will find these answers too, but you need to go out and play a little bit with the tools of the positive reinforcement fly casting. Because that will kick your development like nothing else before. It will show you very clear the path and also the rough patches. The teachings in fly casting as they are fragile. What we teach in the positive reinforcement casting strategies is anti-fragility. Anti-fragile things are things that gain from disorder. That means on the highest level of positive reinforcement fly casting, the weather doesn't matter anymore. You keep it under control at all times, and also the fly and leader, line, ledge, shot, whatever combination you want to throw, you will throw it. Just like that. And I would bet 100 casting instructors on that planet that I can teach people faster here from my chair on my fly tying desk casting than all of them together with my methods against their methods. But unfortunately, I'm getting ducked and shadow banned and avoided, and these methods are not being tried because a lot of casting instructors are simply bullying me and are simply stupid, jealous assholes. And if you don't want to be such an asshole, and if you can make the decision to play a little bit with the tools there, go out and play, because I guarantee you within 3-4 weeks you will be on a level of a casting instructor or higher. If not, you get your money back from me. Seriously, go and play with the tools and just let it go. And make your own picture. Learn it for yourself. Don't be self-taught anymore. Become self-learned. The autotelic approach, far more effective and very not irritating anymore. See, if I ask any casting instructor on this world, on this planet now today, walk me through your rod stopping process, please. We're going to look at you. Rod stopping process. And you will not hear much. And if you ask, do you have to stop a rod or do you not have to stop a rod? You hear stuff like, man, this is so complicated. This is complicated. Again, every time a fly casting instructor says it is complicated, I would walk away from it, because it means he doesn't have understood it himself and he can't teach it too. It's just a fact. Okay? Casting is not complicated. Casting is shit easy. Go out and try and play with the tools of a positive reinforcement fly casting brigade and you will find a new way of enjoying the cast in a relaxed way that is free from dogma and free from pain. You won't get sore anymore in your casting, and that is also free from anxiety. You might not believe that you are a little bit afraid of your own casting, and I know that sounds very uncomfortable, that old casting panic I'm talking about, but it's there. And it's a reoccurring process, and once you notice that you can break out of that circle and go into the 3D bubble of the casting fun, the endless casting fun, you will develop another view on the things naturally, because your supercomputer, your mind, will do it all for yourself. Just go and practice a little bit with the tools and take a little bit of a heavier line that will help you to gain more feedback. The AFTMA system is full of problems that indicate to use heavier lines. I keep it like simple here, but I have an episode on an anti-AFTMA experiment which is worth watching in my opinion. Though it's not doing good, people don't like to deal with stuff that's wrong these days anymore. The algorithm is all only showing you what is nice and what is cool, and everything that is a little bit against the grain gets banned, clicked, discredited, shadow banned and real banned and censored. So congratulations that you found this fly fishing channel here. This is the only independent thinking fly fishing channel in the world. Well, there's a couple of people starting to grasp onto the concept, but as I said to you already, I'm starting a revolution in fly fishing, the revolution of positive reinforcement fly casting. And we're going to have a lot of fun here, and if you try these exercises I keep recommending, probably till I'm dead, till I'm returning to the source with serenity. You will notice for yourself how crazy good and how crazy fun your own casting can be. Seriously. Make the decision, go out, play and practice a little bit, and you will see and find out that for yourself. And if you do so, please feed me back. We can need every hand on board the ship of the friendly fly fishing revolution with the help of positive reinforcement fly casting, who make you to learn the cast yourself, the self-taught, the autotelic approach, the only way to gain proper feedback over what you're doing. Please do not forget, we don't own the water owns us.